It's going to get hot, but it's going to be very nice for your outdoor plans. We'll talk about your first alert forecast coming up in just a few moments.
In the meantime, Maryland Fleet Week officially begins today. WJZ is a proud partner of this event that runs through next Tuesday.
So this morning, Marty is kicking it off with the historic ships downtown, and he'll be bringing us Fleet Week stories the rest of the week. Hey, Marty.
Well, hey, Tim, good morning. Good morning, Cena. Good morning, everyone. Steve Bountress and Brian Auer with us right now with historic ships in Baltimore. Fleet Week is kicked off. If you use the harbor cam and look down into the promenade, what vessel just came by?
The Marionette.
The Marionette, a stealth destroyer. That was pretty cool as we're standing here by Coast Guard cutter number 37 watching that go by.
Yes. So number 37 here is the last warship that remains that witnessed the attack on Pearl Harbor.
And it was really a contrast between one of the most modern ships in the United States flotilla and one of the oldest, 88 years old, Coast Guard cutter number 37, part of the historic ships in Baltimore, which we're going to be talking about exclusively when we come back after our next break, because they're all free this weekend.
Yeah, it was free weekend, so come on down to the waterfront and check out the hometown fleet.
The hometown fleet is right. A bunch of heroes dating back to the Revolutionary War, to the World War II, and in between. All right, back to TV Hill.
Thank you, Marty.
Number 37 with Steve Bountress and Brian Auer. Tell them real quick about just the quick history of number 37.
Sure. So this ship is the last remaining vessel that saw action during the attack on Pearl Harbor. She was berthed in Honolulu on the morning of December 7th, 1941, when the Japanese began their attack on Pearl Harbor. And this ship took part in defense of the power plant down there right on the pier in Honolulu Harbor.
Okay, so one thing leads to another to another. Now she finds a home in Baltimore, but you were telling me that when they decommission a ship, all armaments are taken off.
Yeah, it's part of the demilitarization process. So this one was actually left pretty much intact with the exception of her military capabilities. Her engines are no longer functional and her guns were removed. This gun that's behind me was actually allotted to us by an act of Congress. I believe it was Senator Mikulski way back in the 80s that actually put forth a bill in Congress to get a gun put back on here.
And you were telling me the range of this gun is unbelievable. I want you to listen to this. We are right next to the aquarium, okay? You can hear Pratt straight behind us. Tell them about that gun just real quick.
So she took 11 men to operate up here in the mount and had a range of about 9 miles, which means from here in the Inner Harbor, I could shell Pimlico if the horse I like doesn't win.
Well, I want you just to think about that. Part of the historic ships in Baltimore. Number 37, the submarine Torsk, the Constellation, and the light ship Chesapeake, which is a very big deal. Yeah. But you guys have just done a complete paint job on this vessel now, beautiful again. And you told me over the next couple of years, the Torsk, the Chesapeake.
Yes, so our job is to preserve all these artifacts. And so this spring, we provided a new surface application, protect our steel on this ship. We'll be moving to the light ship next, hopefully be doing a dry dock project, and then the submarine. We'll get the whole sail of the submarine looking beautiful.
And you already did the Constellation.
And it will have to go out again in 5 years as a wooden ship. It's always going to go out. But yeah, the Constellation is looking amazing right now.
How many people a year tour these ships?
Hundreds of thousands of people.
Hundreds of thousands of people. That's wild. And it's free this weekend.
Yeah, we're free all through Fleet Week from Thursday to Monday.
I mean, we want you to come down. As I mentioned, the Marionette is now docked right at the corner of Pratt and Light. You use that harbor cam shot, you're going to see one big stealthy vessel. But there's a whole lot more going on that will become apparent over the next few days. The flyover, this and that.
Yes, and we also are hosting a STEM tent, which is our education tent on Pier 1. So bring the families down, bring the kids. It's all hands-on education.
And Pier 1 is which pier?
That's the one right over in the central Inner Harbor by the amphitheater where Constellation is docked.
So it's the Constellation Pier if you just want to kind of make it more generic. Coming up next half hour, K2 is going to come aboard. We're going to whistle him on board.
Yeah, we will.
We are going to whistle him on board, and we're going to bring you on board too. From Coast Guard cutter number 37, back to 3725 Malden Avenue, TV Hill.
And now let's go back out to Marty. Hello, Marty.
Well, hello, Cena. Hello, Tim. Good morning, everyone. Steve Bountress, Brian Auer, basically the two guys that run historic ships in Baltimore. And I'm not doing this as a joke. This weighs 5 pounds. Imagine it's December 7th, 1941. You're 19 years old. You're at Pearl Harbor. You are under attack, and you're up on the bridge working. You wonder why they call them the greatest generation. Think about that.
Yeah, it's a pretty intense story. I mean, it's basically kids that were responsible for running this ship and making sure that it was ready to go. Our ship was ready to go because they had been pulled in the night before, and so our ship was fully manned when the attack began. So everybody here was rushing to their battle stations, getting ready to defend the ship and to defend the port there.
And think about it. It was kids that were on the Torsk.
Absolutely.
It was kids that were on the Constellation. Go back to the Constellation, Revolutionary War. They were kids.
Yeah, even younger than 18. We had young kids on board the Constellation.
Tell them about, let's talk again about Fleet Week here.
Yes.
Everything is free.
Yeah, everything is free. Come down and see the historic ships in Baltimore, all 4 vessels. We have special programming. You can come up into the bridge. This isn't normally on the tour. And we do have programming throughout Fleet Week where you can get into these spaces that maybe you've never seen before if you've been down here.
Is there a website?
Yes.
That was a duck question.
Yeah,
Hey, Brian, is there a website?
So, yeah, our website at Historic Ships is www.historicships.org. All of our Fleet Focus programming is on there. And then mdfleetweek.org is also where you can see a list of all the events and activities we have going on.
Hey, just real quick, you got like 20 seconds. When a sailor, like maybe from the Marionette or the Fort Lauderdale that's coming in will be on Friday, come on this, what is their reaction?
Oh, they're amazed to see the change in technology over the years and how now there's changes, but there's a lot of things that stay the same as well.
Wow. Hey, gentlemen, thank you so much for
you.
hosting us and our audience at WJZ at 9. K2, it's been pretty amazing, brother.
Yes, it has.
Pretty amazing. Let's go ahead and turn the wheel and steer it back to TV Hill.